Hello, everybody. It's Sunday. I just muted myself in Discord just to run through the quick intro. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. My name's Evldoa, and this is DnD Sunday, as opposed to DnD Thursday. The homebrew campaign tonight, episode 37 this evening. Episode 36 is up on the YouTube, so make sure you go check that out. Mr. Drax dropping an 18-month resub. Shut. Let's get some hype in the chat. If not hype, let's throw up some devil horns at the very least for Mr. Drax. 18 months resub. I know I'm muted in the Discord. I'm muted in the Discord on purpose. Gung ho guy, welcome. Right, so yes, I know I was muted in Discord. It was on purpose. Right, and everyone can hear you guys too.
We can't hear who's saying about her.
Yep, I was talking about you, not do yet.
Hello.
So Mr. Pecker has redeemed the name generator. So Mr. Pecker, you get to name an NPC, which will probably turn up in the next 2 to 3 shows, depending on NPCs you come across. So DM me in the Discord an NPC name. The only restrictions that are on this particular redemption is you must not breach Twitch TOS. So nothing racial, nothing overtly sexual, but it pretty much, apart from that, the name is yours to create. Give me some details about the character as well. So male, female, race, and we will use that character in the show at some point. So just for the rest of the chat, just because Pecker's redeemed it. That was you that redeemed it, Pecker? Sure it was
Apparently.
you. Looks like it was you. Yes, it looks like it was you.
Yeah, I think it was.
Says it was him.
It was. There we go. So yeah, so 25,000 channel points, or 25,000 gold, because that's what our channel points are. We are running gold pieces. So at 25,000 gold, you are able to choose an NPC name for the show. We also have some other bits and pieces there. We have a posture check for 1,000 gold. So if you run a posture check, it's mainly for me because I start to slump and lean forward, and it really starts to hurt my back. So every now and again, if you want to chuck a posture check in, just to remind me to check the way I'm sitting, and so I'm not hurting myself, would be great. We also have, thanks, Trash.
You're welcome.
We also have Guide the Raid. So at 5,000 gold, if you redeem that, you can suggest a raider for the end of the show. So that one, I'm going to put a restriction on it to one person per stream. So basically, at this point, whoever hits it first at the end of the stream, not during the stream, leave it towards the end of the stream when we're deciding to raid. If you know someone that you would like us to raid, then redeem that, and you get to pretty much suggest who we raid for the evening. And obviously the name generator. We've got the others there as well. You can highlight a message for 100 gold. You can unlock a random sub emote for 320 gold. For 480 gold, you can choose an emote to unlock. So for those of you that are regulars and you don't have the sub button, or you're not subbed, and you want to spam a D20 or a D1 when a nat 20 or a nat 1 is rolled, spend 480 channel points. It doesn't cost you anything. You earn them just by watching, and spam along with the rest of the crew. The character breaker, he who says something dumb so dumb every time breaks a character. That's you, Drax. Every time you suggest something in chat, everyone breaks character and fucks up. But so just to let everyone know, the Curse of Strahd campaign is going very, very well. We've hit session 2. No one's dead yet. So the new players have done reasonably well with their roleplay and everything thus far. So it's actually doing. I'm enjoying it. It's an easier campaign to run because it's all written out for me. I am ad-libbing here and there, but it's not something I'm creating, so it's a little bit less time consuming. Not less or more fun, but it's just I'm enjoying that too, that aspect of it. Fridays, 11 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time, we started the Bowl Show this Friday. The links for the podcast are pinned in the general chat. So if you did miss that show and you want to find out what that's about, you can catch it live 11 o'clock on Friday mornings, or visit the two links in the chat and you'll catch up on each show. As we're going to do going to be a weekly show, and it's a 90-minute podcast. So go check it out. I don't know if I think Malice on the second link, which I think is the AM, whatever the hell it is. Let me check. Anchor FM actually has a way to support the show via subs now as well. So if you're able to do that, that'll be awesome, because all that money goes right back into the podcast, into the stream, goes towards creating more merch and all that sort of wonderful stuff. So back to a D&D and tonight's recap. Does any of the players have anything to say before we get started, or are we good to go?
Nope.
I'm good.
Good to go.
Would you skin the chicken? Wrong campaign, Drax. Right. So, after dealing with the bandits of Holland, the Lions discussed the best plan of actions to track down the missing supplies and potential mage sending these supplies through a rift/portal to an unknown entity. It was decided that Het would lay in the road, and Fiala in bear form to distract the guard returning to the town with the cart. Entrails were spread over Het's body, make him look dead and ripped apart, and obviously Fiala in bear form. It was decided that Aleshondras would shapeshift into this guard and replace him to make the journey to try and find out where the supplies were going. Bash just wanted to bury his axe in someone's skull, so the plan and ambush was set on the edge of town. Het lying in the road, Fiala there, the cart approaches, and Aleshondras gets a good look. Lets Bash know that he's ready to go, and in a heroic leap from the rocks above, Bash buries his two-handed axe into the skull of this unsuspecting guard, covering Aleshondras in a bit of goop and setting the ambush in place. Again, more discussions on how to approach, the best way to approach this, ways of using the cart or not using the cart, and it was decided that Inari would drive the cart, the rest would hide in the back. Aleshondras, disguised as shapeshifted into the guard, would escort them as per what they had been told. Upon reaching the clearing after some time, indeed there was a mage waiting for more supplies. A little bit of conversation took place and a signal was given, and once again the team attacked and subdued the mage, tying him up to the wagon wheel. Fiala's still in bear form, Het in his dragonborn toothiness attempted to interrogate this prisoner for information. Rather intimidated by the big growling bear and the toothy dragonborn, especially with the bear nibbling on his boot, information was certainly gathered. Cass was responsible for this particular attack. The supplies were going to him for his slave army, well, that's what they were told, and with that the team was soon interrupted by a familiar voice as they turned to face this unknown familiar enemy standing before them, again was the master vampire Castagnond, essentially trying to berate them somewhat about their futile efforts to thwart their plans, and then calling for another ally from the darkness, stepping forth a plated dark paladin, large shield, large two-handed broadsword on her back, steps out of the shadows, and once again the team are face to face with their former ally.
Traitor.
And a battle ensues. Attacks are made backwards and forwards. A couple of attacks centered around Cass not finding purchase through some form of invisible shielding. He then vanishes from the battlefield, leaving Naemaris to fight her former friends. Joining the battles in a short time after that was a large undead dragon who joins the fray. Attentions were turned, sort of split between Naemaris and the dragon. The team finding that Naemaris' armor was very, very strong and which was very hard to hit. Het then, remembering the iron flask, attempts to entomb Naemaris in the flask, only to find it to fail. Not entirely sure why. After a bit of back and forth, the dragon making some attacks, the team making some attacks, Inari then remembers a task she had been given. She retrieves a certain vial from her pouch on her belt, attaches it to an arrow, draws and fires. Finds her mark. Naemaris is reduced to her knees, the helmet falls from her head, and for the time being seems to be much her old self again, albeit very worn and very tired looking, very dirty, tear tracks running down both cheeks, but for all intents and purposes she is returned to her former self. The dragon moves into closer proximity once more. More damage sent back and forth. The dragon breathes in and releases a lightning breath, reducing Naemaris to unconsciousness, dropping Sadiq to one knee and almost reducing him to death. But his orcish constitution managed to save him from such an end. Het's quick thinking once again to his newly found clerical abilities turns the undead away, enabling the team to retreat and regroup. Going for the cart, run back towards Holland. And this is where we'd rejoin our group. We're on the outskirts, just reaching the outskirts of Holland. They don't seem to be followed by anything. They can no longer hear the undead dragon in pursuit. And we now rejoin our heroes. Right, guys, you are still right on the edge of town. It is dark. By this time, I think we said when you guys got to the clearing, it was probably just after dinner time, give or take. So it is now probably 8-9 o'clock at night. It is dark. It is getting cold. You have a heavily armored, very wary Naemaris in the back of the cart with you, who at this point, during the travels, I don't think any of you have really noticed because of the situation, has put her helmet back on. So she is now fully armored, holding a shield in front of her, a very large shield sort of laid across her, and the two-handed sword has been returned to its scabbard on her back. But you are all heart racing. You're sort of, a lot of you are still damaged from the encounter, but you are now relatively safe on the outskirts of town.
Well, I know I need a place to rest for my spells.
Yes, it is also not damaged at all, but
We lost you there, Hit.
I
Naemar,
spent
where you go ahead.
2 rounds of combat like a hawk.
Yeah, we lost just about all of that, Baz. Seems Hit is having some technological difficulties right now.
Naemaris, if that's what we call you, lay down your weapon. Put it aside.
It's on my back. I'm not going to hurt you with it.
Take it off. Put it aside.
All right, then. I can do that.
So do you remove your weapon?
I remove my weapon and I hand it to Ali. Scabbard.
I take it and put it somewhere to the side so she can't reach.
Firstly, you'll need to make a strength check because it's almost as big as you are.
I suppose. So strength.
I mean, she has laid it down, so but yeah, this weapon is huge. It's almost as big as you are.
So
Ellie.
do I go ass over tit, or is it
Well,
actually
depends on what your roll was.
6.
6. I mean, you struggle to lift it. It is you go to lift it, sort of not realizing just sort of the weight of it. I mean, no, it's a two-handed weapon, but it is a lot heavier than it looks. I mean, you are able to drag it away from her, but you can't sort of lift it per se. But you do move it sort of away from her reach. She's given it up voluntarily. She doesn't seem to have any issues with that.
I'm too bloody tired to actually think about doing anything anyway, to be honest.
So do you remember your actions?
Yes, I do.
Then bear that in mind.
There is nothing I can do to control my actions, but I remember.
You're speaking quietly again.
There is nothing I can do to control my actions, but I remember every single thing that I've.
Didn't hear the last word, sorry.
Done.
So where do we head from here, guys and girls?
Well, I think we'll need some place to rest, that's for sure.
For at least a good couple of days.
At this point, Bash sort of he's sitting listening, and he looks over at you and Naemaris, and sort of you sort of see him sniff in your direction, and he turns to the rest of your group and goes, "Well, you guys know this one. She's a what's the word? Fucking evil is the word I'm looking for. I've heard stories about her."
She was with the group a while back until she betrayed us.
Yeah, I've heard she's been working with that vampire fella, and he's and with them together, they've been killing people all over the realms. I think we need to keep an eye on her. I don't know if I trust this one.
I agree implicitly. Inari,
Yes.
what was that arrow that you used?
I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but the Enclave gave me a vial and said to use it if ever we came back in contact.
So
I think some kind of restoration, I think.
Okay. Well, I recommend we go back to the town we came from, get a night's sleep, and head off, or find a portal to get back to Boulogne, is it?
If Balon's where we want to go next, I guess.
Oh, well, I thought you guys were wanting to go to Tomb and get those magic-y bits. I thought that's where I was supposed to be taking you fellas.
We will. This is just a matter of importance.
Well, we can probably rest here at Holland, I guess. I mean, we did save them after all. I mean, they do owe us. We could rest up here, and I mean, if you're worried about this one, I mean, we could probably get a message to maybe this enclave that the Elfie person's talking about, or to someone in charge that they might be able to come and take care of, arrest her or something. I don't know what you're going to do really.
That sounds like a bloody good idea. Anyone else object?
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, go for gold.
Oh, Mr. Hit, you found your voice. I thought you might have been broken.
Yes, broken somewhat. Trying to fix. Mostly just watching Naemaris.
Yeah, you must be a little bit exhausted there, Mr. Hit. You're a little quiet. I mean, I'll just get a little bit closer so I can hear you. But yeah, I mean, I think that yeah, if we, I mean, that little halfling fella that's looking after our wagon, I'm sure he'd be able to put us up in an inn or something here for a day or two while we figure out what we're going to do with the evil bitch in the fancy armor, and then yeah, I can take you guys to the entrance of this tomb, because without me you won't find it, and you probably get lost and dead and stuff. So.
Sounds like a plan.
So, with that, you are all in agreement that you're going to proceed back into town, find Frodin, and find out if he's able to put you guys up for the night, or maybe suggest, obviously, get your guys' beds somewhere for the at least the evening, if not a couple of days, because you've all sort of taken some pretty serious damage. Naemaris, even though she is wearing a helmet, again was looking very, very tired and very, very damaged, to the point where she's got no fight left in her. I mean, you can see that physically she just has doesn't have that same physical presence that she once had when you guys first knew her. She's just completely drained.
I turn to Hat and I'm like, Hat, I'm gonna need a hand scout with this damn armor. I know it's cursed.
It can help with that.
That would be greatly appreciated. And now I'm just gonna roll over and close my eyes.
Hit still spends his time watching Naemaris very carefully.
I'm doing the exact same thing.
So you guys take the cart, you head back towards the center of town, and as you get back to the center of town, you do and get to sort of the livery or the stables where they said that they were going to store your wagon. The wagon is covered outside. You can see that it's there. It's been covered by a big sort of almost like sail fabric. No tarpaulins in them days, but it's been covered by a large piece of cloth. Your horses have been stabled, and Frodon is actually still there. Like when you guys return, he's sort of tending to other people around, sort of getting ready to sort some other things out. And he notices you guys come back, and he sort of waves as you come back. He's, oh, you guys are back. Well, welcome back. Did you get the supplies back, or find out what was going on? By any chance? I mean, are we out of danger at least?
Unfortunately, weren't able to get the supplies back, but you may be out of danger.
Well, that's at least something. I mean, we can. It's going to take us a few weeks to get back on our feet and get things running again here, but at least we're no longer under the control of these beasts, and off, probably about just off in the distance, you can see an orange glow beyond the trees of the town, and you would assume that that's where they've piled the bodies and taken Bash's advice and burnt them on a large sort of pyre. So, and in this stage he notices Naemaris, and he sort of looks and sort of double takes and goes, why is she here? And you can see he's visibly scared at this point.
She's wanted for questioning.
She's responsible for half the deaths in this village.
And more so, she still needs to answer for other actions she has done.
I hear this nice shudder.
Oh, I don't know that the townspeople will agree with her being here, but
we have some gold to spend. Do you have a place that you can keep us for the night in exchange? And we'll make sure that she stays away from everyone.
We only have one inn. I suppose you could stay there. The dwarven innkeeper will not be happy about having that one in his establishment, but if you give me a few moments, I'll go speak to him and make sure that everything is okay. I mean, it's the least we can do. After all, you have saved our small town. Just give me a few moments. And he turns and scuttles off towards. You can see the inn building. It looks like an inn, just up the street from where you are. And when I bring up my information. From where you are, there's a few, there've been torches lit around town now. There's a few people sort of milling around, not too many. Most people are exhausted and have turned in for the night themselves. But there is a sort of, almost looks like a Viking longhouse style building. And above the door is a sign with a sword and a goblet. And above that sign, and it's an iron and sort of a wrought iron sign. And above the sign, it's got hero and chalice. And you see Frodon sort of scuttle off towards that building. He goes into the main door, and after about 10 or 15 minutes, he returns. And he returns to you and says, "Well, he's not happy, but Thurim has agreed to put you up for the night as long as that one is restrained." He's happy to put you up even a few nights if needed, but she must be restrained at all times.
Do you have, is there a prison here or a place we can get iron chains?
We can. I can certainly organise to get some manacles. We don't really have a prison of sorts, but we do.
Manacles will be fine.
I can get you some iron manacles with a sturdy lock. And he sort of motions to a younger halfling sort of tending the horses and says, "Go fetch the manacles from the blacksmith." And the young fellow sort of looks up and nods and takes off. And it only takes him a few minutes. The blacksmith's sort of right next to the stables, and he comes back with a fairly sturdy-looking set of iron manacles.
I look at them and I'm like, even if I wanted to fight, I'm in no fit state to do so, and I really don't want to. So, do what you.
Now, you said the armor's cursed, yes?
Yes.
So we can't take the gloves off then, can we?
No. I can't take it off.
Can anyone do a remove curse? Anyone?
Mitch is just reading through his current list of things in his book here and does not see anything that can help us here, I'm afraid.
Ask our good friend if there's a cleric that can do wondrous things.
He's standing right there, and he's sort of listening to this, and as Het sort of says he doesn't have the ability to remove a curse, he says, well, I can do that for you. I'm not probably not as skilled as you, but I do know how to remove a curse if you need me to. You can see he's hesitant to do it too, but because knowing sort of who it's for, he's a little hesitant, but he does offer.
We need to get the manacles on her, and I prefer to do it without the armor on.
I can just go get a pry bar.
So with
Weld
that,
the chain onto her arms.
so Naemaris, do you what are you doing at this point? You still in the cart, or have you stepped down, or are you waiting for their instruction to what to do?
I think at this point I probably would have tried crawling off the cart and failed, so I'm just going to sit and wait for whatever they say. But if
So
that nice man can get his bloody armor off, I'll be so grateful.
you can see he's visibly intimidated by you just by the look of you. I mean, this for context, people. 1 second, just so that the chat and a reminder for the players. This is what Naemaris is wearing. Or something similar. It's very... actually, that's not entirely it. I was wrong. Let me redo that. There is actually another set of armor in my list of stuff here. I might be on the other computer. But it's similar to that. It's covered... The hand... The gauntlets themselves, the ends of the fingers have large talons on them. So they're very, very spiky, and it's very, very menacing looking. The helmet has as many spikes and juts, sharp bits on it as well. But the halfling sort of steps forward and sort of raises his hand. So I would imagine, Naemaris, by the time you're probably sitting on the end of the cart. So he sort of raises his hand up and touches the armor, touches on the leg, and just starts mumbling to himself. And then raises his other hand up and puts both hands together, puts his sort of head down, and sort of mumbles some arcane words. And then, with a flash of arcane energy, he lifts his hands, and all of you, right before your eyes, notice the helmet starts to crack first across the top of you. You hear is the audible cracking of hardened metal, and that screeching of bending metal as the armor sort of cracks and creaks. Cracks start to form across the chest plate, now across the leg plates, and then in an instant, poof, the whole thing just turns to ash and dissipates before your eyes.
Please tell me I've got clothes on underneath.
You do. You have basic common clothing underneath. You have like just common cotton leggings and a cotton shirt. You have sort of leather, sort of what would be classed as sort of an inner boot designed for wearing inside armor. But you are wearing nothing else but that.
I look at Froden. Is that his name?
Froden is his name. You don't know his name, but that's who you're looking at.
Well, I look at this little halfling creature and say thank you. You have no idea how much that means to me.
And he sort of looks up at you, still visibly scared, even though now without the armor, he's looking up into your dirty face. He can see the emotion in your face, but he's still visibly afraid of you, and sort of backs away and sort of nods in an acknowledgement that you've thanked him. So on your character sheet, remove your armor. Just completely remove it. Unequip your shield and your sword at this point.
At the Discord message.
There is no price.
Okay.
Broden sort of steps back and sort of wringing his hand and says to everyone, well, did not expect that to happen. But it is done. As you can see, the armor is no more. Thurim is waiting inside to show you to your rooms. There will be food and drink available to you all, free of charge for helping us rid our village of these beasts. And he says, with that I must bid you good night. I'm exhausted myself, and I must retire.
Thank you for all your help.
Thank you, definitely. And he sort of goes around everyone, sort of shakes your hand, and then retires for the evening. So you are all standing out the front, well, by the stables, probably about 50 or 60 feet across the square is the town inn, the Hero and Chalice, and you are able to use their facilities for
Naemaris,
2 or 3 days.
Put your hands behind your back.
I look at Ali and I'm like, can you please
Speak up.
I look at Ali and I'm like, can you please at least let me just go and bathe before you tie me up?
No.
What is it, Nutty's obsession, character's obsessions with bathing?
It's terrible.
All her characters have OCD for bathing. It's crazy.
She doesn't like to be dirty. What do you expect?
Hit agrees with you, Ellie. I don't think we need her to have any time like that. Tie her up.
Alright,
and
then.
with that, Bash actually moves forward, taking a prompt from Alessandris and Het, and actually physically picks you up off the back of the cart, stands you up, like grabs you by your arms, pulls you forward and stands you up, and says, all right, Missy, you do what these nice people say, or I'll have to get rough with you. And he's probably 2.5, 3 inches taller than you.
Shit.
He's probably as wide through the shoulders, if not bigger, but his arms are huge compared to yours. He's a big unit. And I'll get him to roll a quick check here. He's going to roll an intimidation check, because he's right in your face. He gets a... I'll get Naemaris, just roll a d20 for me.
A 15?
15. While you're not 100% intimidated, like you're not scared of him, you know that he's not messing about. And in your current condition,
I'm in no fit state to fight anyway.
you don't have the energy to fight. You don't really want to fight. I mean, these are your friends. I mean, these people... I mean, you remember everything that has happened to you from the time that the spell took hold, the time that the spell released. You remember absolutely everything. So you understand exactly where they're coming from. You would do the exact same thing given the circumstances were reversed and it was someone else in your shoes. So yeah, Bash sort of pulls you forward and picks you up and turns you physically as Alessandros approaches you and grabs your hands, pulls them behind your back, and manacles you.
Fair enough. I wasn't fighting anyway.
We just need to figure out what the hell's going on here. I mean, the stories that I've heard about you and what you've done, they're pretty horrific. And if you say you remember everything, then I really hate to think what's going through your head right now.
You really wouldn't want to be in my head right now. It's not a very pretty place.
Speak up.
I said you really wouldn't want to be in my head right now. It's not a very pretty place.
You don't look very pretty right now either. I mean, you're kind of filthy, but they won't let you have a bath, and I kind of agree. Need to figure out what's going on first.
Alright, let's go and get some food and rest up.
Just lay me somewhere and I will sleep.
So Bash is going to escort you. He's going to sort of, you know how you normally get a guard either side with your hand sort of jammed under your arm, with sort of your manacle behind, but they put a hand through sort of on your arm, almost up under your armpit. And he sort of grabs you there and sort of leads you forward. Not doesn't hurt. He's not being forceful. He's just making sure that you're going to get there. Does everyone else follow? Everyone else going to head to the inn?
Yes, I do.
I'm on the other side of Bash.
Okay, so you're going to take the other arm?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have... Who's leading towards the inn? Alessandros, I'm assuming you're going to sort of lead the way a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So Alessandros sort of surges forward, heading towards the inn, followed
And
close...
Kate will be up front too.
Okay, so followed by Het and probably Fiala, with Bash, Sadiq, and Naemaris sort of bringing up the rear. Bash and Sadiq flanking Naemaris, hand under each arm, ensuring that she doesn't try and escape, even though even Bash has realised she's probably not going to try. But it's you guys are all, suspicions are heightened. You're nervous. You're not entirely sure what's going on, and you really want to make sure that she's not going to try anything at this point. So you get to the inn, and as you get through the doors, you are greeted by, like I said, it very much, the interior very much looks like the exterior, which is almost like a Viking sort of long hall style building, high sort of angled pitch ceilings, a big fire pit in the center, like unlike you would see in a Viking hall. So there's a big sort of fire pit in the center, tables sort of spread around the outside, makeshift sort of bar / counter at one end. And stoking up the fire, putting up a couple of big logs on the fire, is a very tall dwarf. A dwarf nonetheless, but a taller than most dwarves. Very, very muscular, long reddish brown hair, tied back in a single braid ponytail, sort of coming down to almost down to his waist. He turns and sort of looks at you guys. He's got only got one eye. He's got a large scar down the left-hand side of his face, which runs through his left eye, and you can see that he's lost that eye in battle. His beard is almost as long as his hair, coming almost down to his sort of waistline, and 3 separate braids, sort of big, thick one in the center, and then 2 smaller ones on the side. Again, reddish brown. You can see he's got wearing a short sleeve sort of leather tunic and sort of leather pants, fur top boots, and you can see marks on his wrists where he looks like he's been shackled. And he sort of looks up. He's a little bit dirty, and looks up, and sort of his eyes fall to Naemaris almost instantly. He doesn't sort of speak to her or reference her. He just sort of, his eyes sort of fall to her firstly, and he says, "Hey, welcome to the hero and chalice. My name's Stidham Stormhammer, and this is my place. You make sure that one stays chained up while she's here. Don't want any trouble."
She'll be chained up. Do you have a room that's secluded from everywhere else?
All the rooms are kind of separate, but I'd rather you put her in the basement, in the cellar. There's no windows in the cellar. She wouldn't be able to escape.
What do you guys think about that? I reckon that's a wonderful idea.
I mean, she'll be comfortable down there, but she won't be able to get out. And I would feel much happier if she was down there.
We are gonna give her like a pillow and a blanket, aren't we?
Oh, there's an old cot down there. I mean, one of them old hands used to sleep down there on occasion. But it's like I say, it's not. I'm not going to treat her like an animal. I mean, as much as what she's done to us here, she deserves a fair trial. I mean, we're not going to string her up just because she's responsible for half this village's death. But I'm not comfortable with her being near a window where she might escape.
All right.
And he leads you to the back of the kitchen, and it's not a trap door, but it's a door leading to a sort of rickety steep staircase, and he leads you guys down to the cellar. There is like he's got a couple of candles lit down there. There's an old sort of cot, pillow and a blanket there, and there's the reason he wanted to bring you down here, he points out there's a large iron ring that is attached to the wall, and where you could literally chain her to the wall with her manacles. And he supplies you with a large chain, which is probably about 2.5-3 feet long, and a large padlock. He says you can chain her up there, so at least you guys can sleep without worrying about her getting away.
At this point, Anari will pipe up and say, I'll stay down here and watch her. She's in no fit state to go anywhere. Look.
Cut out, sorry.
I said at this point, Anari will pipe up with, I'll stay down here and stay on watch with her, because looking at her there, she is in no fit state to go.
Still cut out. Taking your finger off the button way too early. Just your last words.
Staying down here. She's not going anywhere. I'll watch her.
We can always take turns if need be.
Yes, Ed thinks that is a good idea. A couple at a time. She was quite a hard task to fight previously. Even tired, I don't wish to be overrun. One at a time might be not enough. Anari, I might aid you.
You can stay down here with me, but I've taken no damage in any of the previous fights, and I can stay guard and let you sleep there, and I'll wake you if I need.
Ed would like to do some hours still. It will stay for a couple of hours at least.
I'm going upstairs, up to the kitchen, dining area, to have something to eat.
Same, but I'm also going to make a plate up for everyone downstairs.
Okay. So, Anari, you've decided to stay with Naemaris at this point?
Yeah, I'll stay down there with her. At some point in the morning, I'll go and take my 4 hours of meditation.
So, yeah. So, you could do that for the time being. So, Sadiq, after a short time, brings you down a plate of food. Also brings Naemaris a plate of food as well. So Naemaris, you are able to eat. So we'll leave them down there for the time being. So we will stick with the group that's upstairs. So Het, Yela, Alessandros, and Sadiq, you are all in. You have the inn to yourself at this point. Thurum is there. He's sort of milling around, preparing food and organising a few drinks for you guys. He doesn't really say much to you, so that you hear him muttering to himself from time to time, but he's just sort of milling around doing his own thing. So what are you guys wanting to discuss?
Hit, by no means trust Naemaris. I know we have Inari watching her, but I feel like we should take, even though Inari only needs less sleep, I feel we should be taking a few hours each just to double check and make sure Inari hasn't been overrun.
I agree.
Yeah, but what are we gonna do with Naemaris in the morning?
We could send word to the Enclave.
Would I have a way to?
You're not
I'd
there.
have a way to message.
You're not
Oh,
there.
they're upstairs, aren't they? I'm still downstairs. Okay.
Why didn't Inari tell us she had that vial the whole time?
Yeah, that's making me wonder as well.
Also a good question.
Yeah.
Are you with the Enclave as well, aren't you, Fiala?
Yes, but they don't talk to me for some reason.
Just if we are to get a message to the Enclave, would it be quick and easy, or will we have to rely on Inari for that? That vial of stuff that she used, if she had told us she had it, we might have been able to utilize it better. Nonetheless, it makes me mistrust her again, and we've got two people we mistrust, or I mistrust, with each other at the moment. I dare not want to leave them alone.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of leaving them alone either.
Hit actually grabs some raw meat and heads back to be with Inari and Naemaris.
Okay, so Hit gets up, excuses himself from the table, and heads down to the cellar, leaving Sadiq, Fiala, and Alessandros to continue discussing or turn in for the evening. By this time, after you've sort of eaten and drank, you will be heading into sort of 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
As Het gets downstairs, he'll hear the end of Inari saying to Naemaris, although I know what we've done has supposed to have helped you, you move and you'll find my weapon across your throat.
Turning in and get a fresh start in the morning.
And Naemaris just kind of sits there and turns over and goes to sleep.
So yeah, Het, you catch the tail end of that conversation or that statement as you descend down into the basement.
Okay.
So Sadiq and Fiala, what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna rest for 4 hours until it's my turn to go down there.
Okay. So you turn in and are going to rest for 4 hours. Sadiq, what are you doing?
I'm gonna get a full night's rest because I took a beating.
Yes. Luckily for you, because of your racial trait, you were not reduced to complete unconsciousness, so you do not gain a level of exhaustion. So you don't need to take the 24 hours rest, so you can just benefit from a long rest. You turn in for the evening.
Yeah.
We then, Alessandros, you've turned in as well. So then we rejoin Het, Inari, and Naemaris in the cellar. Naemaris has turned over and has just passed out. She is absolutely exhausted. Het, you have just descended the cellar stairs. You've caught the tail end of Inari's statement. And we now rejoin you guys in the basement.
Well said, Inari. I couldn't put it better myself. I'm here to aid you. We've decided we'd best have a couple of us, even if you think she's weak. She may be stronger than she looks.
That's
I take it by that noise she's making. She's sleeping.
I would say so. Looking at her, she doesn't look like she's had a very good time. I think she went down a couple of times there in that last fight.
Good to know. I want to ask you a question or two, if that's all right.
That's fine.
Do you speak with the Enclave often?
I'm just looking across the room.
Yes,
Yes, I do.
at least weekly.
About once a week.
Well, you don't speak with them directly. You send them progress reports, and they send information back.
I relay that information.
Excellent. Hit was talking to the others of our group, and we really need to maybe get a mention to the Enclave that we have Naemaris in our custody. Are you able to do that for us?
Certainly.
At whatever time you can, whatever's easiest. I'm not sure. Is it by letter or by mind? How do you go about that?
You have a ring of essentially a ring of sending, so you're able to send a message.
I can send a message at any time that I need to, and I can do that right now.
Excellent. Hit waits for her to do so.
And Ari sends a message to the Enclave, telling them what's happened in the past 4 to 5 hours.
Okay. You send the message, and you get a response from your superior at the Enclave. It's basically saying, "Great. So the vial did work. We at the Enclave not to take possession of Naemaris. Best to have her returned to Vallond to face trial, I guess. Thorfinn has requested her return." That's received back.
Okay, I relay that message to Hit.
Hit nods. Okay, well, at least we have something to do. We know she needs to go for trial back at Vallond. Thorfinn wants to see her. Another question, if I might, Inari.
Mm-hmm.
What was that stuff you fired at Naemaris?
You have
I'm
no idea.
100% sure, I'll be honest. I was just given orders that if we came across her, to attach it to an arrow and shoot at a place where it would seep into which would be the head.
Okay, that makes sense. Hit just wonders, and Hit is not the only one wondering. But why you did not mention this to the rest of us, so we had some sort of heads up. It would be nice to know that the Enclave had given you something to aid us.
Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't my primary mission, so it was just a secondary. I didn't think to actually mention it.
Okay. It is a tricky one, but Hit appreciates that you may have not needed to mention it. In future, though, would be good to know.
Yeah, Hit, make a quick history check for me.
That's an 11.
11? Even with an 11, you've read about the Enclave. You don't know about them personally. You've never really met anyone involved in the Enclave, but you've heard stories about what the Enclave does and how they approach things. They generally are relatively secretive, and their agendas are always on the level. They essentially are there to restore balance and everything to the world. So obviously with Naemaris being where she was, you sort of get the impression now with this discussion that they saw her as being out of balance, or out of the balance of where she should have been, and have basically an arrow's been put in place to put that balance right.
Excellent. Hit feels confident about that answer then.
I mean, whether you are still suspicious, that's completely up to you to carry on feeling the way that you feel, but that's just the impression with your conversation and what she's divulged to you, and just with the little bit of knowledge you have of the Enclave, that's kind of the impression that you now get of the whole situation.
No, that is good. Thank you, Inari. Hit appreciates your upfront honesty, as Hit knows that you're working for a decent guild, I would say. Nonetheless, thank you for your help and all that. It has been nice to get Naemaris back, as untrusting as most of us will be to begin with. We need to start somewhere, I guess.
Yes, I can understand why you'd be untrusting of her. The things that she's done, I'd say, have not been very pleasant. But no, anytime you can ask and you'll get the truth. I'm an open book about most things.
Excellent to know. I wish she was awake, actually. I was hoping to ask her some open, honest, truthful questions, too. Do you think it would be cruel to wake her up?
Honestly, I think after that fight, she's gonna be gone for a good couple of days.
Naemaris, roll a wisdom save for me, please.
That would be 22.
Pardon?
22.
22. You wake sitting bolt upright, sweat running down your face, tears streaming down your face also. When she does sit up, like the chains pull tight, hit, and it startles you. It startles both of you, as you, Inari as well, and you guys will react accordingly. She just sits bolt upright, muscles tensed, chains sort of pulls tight against the wall and sort of jangles and clangs, and she's wide-eyed, tears streaming down her face.
Hit draws up one of his spells. His ice spear ready to go. He doesn't quite fire it off, but just waits to see what's happening.
Inari at this point has her scimitar up against her throat.
Naemaris hasn't even noticed you guys at this point. She's heavy breathing. Like I say, the tears are literally like running down her face right now. Her eyes are red. She's not like sobbing, but just a steady stream of tears. But she's like breathing really, really heavy. And after about 30-40 seconds, Naemaris, that your muscles relax, your breathing returns to normal, and you are now wide awake. And you now notice the scimitar at your throat, Hit standing there, spell ready.
I'm looking at them going, what's happened? What's going on?
You know what's happened. I mean, you wake up, you can see what's happening. You're not...
Oh, I can see what's happening, but it's like, why have you got that? Why are you standing there? Like, why?
Well, Inari maybe released the sword a bit. I think maybe night terrors. You lurched quite violently, Naemaris, and as you can expect, we are a little distrusting of you at the moment. So I thought you might have been trying to get up and get free again. Are you yourself?
I look down at myself as far as I know I am. I'm just absolutely exhausted, to be honest. I kind of try and lay down again.
One quick question, Naemaris.
Yes.
And I have many, but one will do for now. You can see you're tired. Do you feel guilt and remorse at any of the things you have done over the past months?
Before you answer that, roll another wisdom save for me.
18.
18. Hit, roll a quick perception for me as well.
$17.
So you can answer that just in a moment. Hit, the first thing you notice the moment you finished that question, she was looking directly at you, as she always did. She always was the type of person when she was being spoken to, she would look at you and look you in the eye. The moment you finished that question, her eyes dropped, and she could not look. She can no longer look you in the face. That's the first thing you notice. Now you can answer the question.
Oh, of course I feel remorse and...
But you do need to speak up because no one can hear you.
of course I feel remorse and guilt for what I've done. It's been like being in somebody else's body and just being controlled and not being able to help what I'm doing. It's been horrible.
So you had no control at all.
I had no control at all.
That's a good start. Alright, I shall let you sleep, but I do have more questions, so I know it's probably going to be painful and hurtful, but it is what it is. Good night to you.
Good night.
Hit then pulls his lute forward and using Song of Rest, he plays a nice lullaby. Goes by the name of Charlotte the Harlot.
Charlotte the harlot, show me your. Charlotte the harlot, lay me to bed.
He uses that as a song of rest, and for Naemaris, she will get an extra d6 to add for her hit points gaining if she is gaining anything. Not that it makes a difference for her. It's
she'll
just
get she'll get a
flavor.
long rest. Yeah, so everyone's going to get a long rest. So with that, we will say at least Anari and Hit, you have more to discuss.
No, Hit is fine.
So after, are you going to stay there until the end of the Anari's watch?
Hit will just do 2 hours,
2 hours.
and then he will telepathically wake one of the others, probably Alessandros.
I think Fiala was going to get up next.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll get
Fiala
go.
then.
It's all right.
No, that's good. Yeah, I can.
I don't know what I'm gonna say. Go.
So after a couple of hours, you telepathically wake Fiala.
Damn it.
Yes.
So now you're going to have something to say. You wake her up.
Hit
Go ahead and wake her up.
uses telepathy so he doesn't have to leave Anari's side until the next person comes, and he says, Fiala, I am beginning to grow tired and weary. Are you able to take your watch now?
Yep. I'll be right there. And
Thank you.
I'm gonna walk down.
I don't know that you
And-
can reply to that, but yeah, okay.
I just because I'm half asleep. I'm just like, yeah.
I'm not sure how that spell works. I'm not sure if they can actually
No,
reply
they can't
to you.
reply. It's not. It's just telepathy one way from
Yeah.
me to them.
So
I
just
think
talking out
Naemaris
loud.
would be about the only one that could reply to you, given the right circumstances.
Okay, I'm gonna make my way down and pat head on the shoulder. Shoulder to go to bed.
Thank you, Fiala. Have a lovely evening. And Hit heads back off up to his room.
Anari, by this point, you'll be getting close to the end of your 4 hours as well. So you will need to rest. Do you leave Fiala there by herself, or do you go wake one of the others?
I'll wake one of the others. I might actually say to Hit before he leaves to see if he can just give Ali a tap on his way. Because she
Hit.
would have come down, didn't she?
Yes, Hit will do that for you.
Hit on your way.
telepathically yells.
Yeah, on your way. As you're heading up the stairs, however, Hit, you run into Bash, who's in the main hall. He's in the main hall of the tavern. He's stoking up the fire. He's not slept. Been sort of wandering around. He's had a little bit to drink, but he's still sober. And he sort of said, "Oh, Mr. Hit, I thought you was going to bed. Is that evil lady still in chains down there?"
Yes, Bash, she is still in chains. She had a slight night terror or something. Pulled the chain a bit, but otherwise she's in check. She doesn't seem to be wanting to go anywhere, and she doesn't seem to be able to break free at this moment.
All right. Well, if you need me to watch her for a few hours, I'm good to go. I don't really need a lot of sleep. I'm pretty good. Didn't really take much damage. I mean, I know Mr. Sadiq is kind of fucked up, so he probably a bit of rest. And I'm not sure that Miss Alessandros, that whole shape-shifting thing kind of threw me off. That's kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time. I think he was kind of exhausted as well. So I'm happy to take on a watch if that's all right with you.
You are right, Ellie. She was exhausted. I was about to yell her awake, but nonetheless, if you are willing to do that, we would be grateful. Fiala is down there at the moment, keeping watch, so it would be nice if yes, you could give her a hand. That would be very helpful.
Oh, that'd be my pleasure. I'm pretty good at watching prisoners and beating them up if they try and escape. And he gives you a big sort of toothy grin.
Are you not going to need somewhat of sleep yourself?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I don't really sleep much. I get a little bit of sleep here and there, and then wake up. I mean, I generally sleep more better during the day, you know. But I'm pretty good. I'm still wound up after the battle. I'll be alright.
Excellent. And Het points him on his way as Het heads up to his room.
Good night, Mr. Het. And Bash then proceeds downstairs. So Fiala, after a few minutes of Het leaving, you sort of hear the heavy footsteps of a large half-orc coming down the stairs. And Bash, with his double-handed axe on his back, sort of leans down on the stairs, sort of peering down in the dim light to see who's there, and sort of spies you in an eye and just says, and kind of half-pie whispers it, doesn't want to wake Naemaris up. He says, Miss Inari, I'm here to relieve you. You can go get some rest if you like. I'll take over.
I just go and sit in the corner and meditate for my 4 hours. I'm not going to leave.
Okay. So
There if you need me.
I'm pretty sure I can take care of it. And like he's 3 times your size. You're tiny compared to him.
I'm faster than he is.
Now, you'd be surprised. You think you're faster than he is, but you'd be
I think I'm
surprised.
faster than he
You'd
is.
be surprised. So Bash sort of just props himself up against the wall, sitting next to you, Fiala.
Well, what do you think, Bash? Since she's asleep.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, these stories that I've heard about this one, she's done some terrible things. I mean, she's killed lots of people. But I understand that she was your friend and things, but and she's supposedly under some form of spell. But man, if she remembers everything, her brain has got to be mush right now.
You've
Jeez.
never done terrible things yourself?
I've killed lots of people, sure, but no one that didn't deserve it. I mean, people might think that's terrible, I suppose, but the terrible things that she's done, like men, women, children, been slaughtered and during these raids, and I mean whole families burnt alive. So they say. I mean, I don't know how much truth's in that, but that's got to be horrible.
I'm gonna kick on the side of Naemaris' foot to see if she wakes up.
How hard do you kick her?
Not enough to cause any damage, but enough to like get up.
I would say roll a d6 for me, Naemaris. Tell me what you get.
3.
3. You do stir. You sort of turn over, sort of half asleep, eyes half open, and you see Fiala and Bash sitting there, both sort of looking.
Huh?
Oh, you're awake. Yeah. I just wanted to see if I could talk to you.
Huh. When I look at her, and I'm like, okay.
Did you and Cass talk a lot when you were with him about this party? Did he tell you anything about this team?
tell me anything about this team? Hang on a second. I would say that, yep, he probably did talk to me. I know quite a lot about what's going on with Cass.
He didn't talk to you about plans. Like, you don't know any intricate details. But he did speak to, not to you, and this is the thing, he never actually spoke to Naemaris.
No.
But you were able to hear virtually everything that was said. So you've got a little bit of information about her. You know, you've been inside his castle, so you know roughly the layout of the castle and the parts that you've been in. He has told you some of the things that they've done, like that the team's up to and where they're heading. So he has information that they don't think he has. That much you do.
Did you get to see Kosas?
Did I
Yes,
get
actually,
psychosis?
yes, you did. You've seen him
Yes, I did. Well,
a few times in both
Indeed.
humanoid and dragon form.
and I look at Fiala because she wasn't there when Het asked me, and I say to her, "That wasn't me. None of that was me. That was like." And I told Het it was like being a puppet.
And from here on out, what do you want, Naemaris? What is it you want for the future?
Well, I know it's not going to happen, but I'd really like us to all get back to the way we were, and I want to fight for good.
All right, I'm gonna let you sleep, and I'm gonna sit next to Bash and just kind of watch her.
What I'm going to do after that one is, while she's doing whatever she does, I'm going to roll over, and in my head, I'm just going to plead to whatever deity.
Or you have to
speak
tell me that you can't
Um,
just plead to whatever deity and hope someone answers. You have to be
Well, I'm
specific.
thinking Helm. I'm going to plead to Helm because
Well,
Helm
he is
was
your
my
deity. He
He
is
is my
he
deity.
is your deity. It's not that he was. He is your deity. But for all intents and purposes, you've felt abandoned by him because you've not felt his presence or his word.
So as I go to sleep, I'm going to plead to him to come and help me in whatever way he can, because I'm just feeling a bit lost right.
We
Actually,
didn't get the last two words again. You're taking your finger off the button far
right
too
now,
soon.
and I'm keeping my finger on the button.
Then you're speaking too quietly for the microphone to pick you up. So you got to get that
Right, it's fucking
consistency.
thing in a minute.
Well, I'm sorry. We have to get the audio done properly. I mean, sorry to break character and break stuff here, guys, but at the end of the day, if no one can hear you, there's no point in you playing. You got to look at it from my point of view. If no one can, if I've watched the VODs, and 9 times out of 10, your audio cannot be heard. So I'm trying to fix it.
I'm actually gonna sit next to her and kind of put my head on her shoulder while she sleeps or something. Give her some warmth in the cold cellar.
But as you go to sleep, Naemaris, with your thoughts turning to Helm, you do get a sense of comfort as you go to sleep. You don't get any answer to any specific question or plea, but you do feel comfort as you drift off back to sleep. Bash doesn't say anything during this sort of conversation. He sort of sits there and just listens and watches, and he just sits there and takes his turn with the watch with you, Fiala, Inari meditating in the corner as Naemaris drifts off back to sleep. So with that, after a term, Inari, you will probably wake before anyone else after your 4 hours. Bash is still awake. Fiala, roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
11.
You've drifted off to sleep in this time. You've gotten you hadn't taken a lot of damage, but you were still fairly battle worn yourself. Even though you had taken your full meditation and beforehand, but you've just been comfortable sitting back with your friend. You had drifted off to sleep, and Bash let you. Bash is still awake. He's let you drift off to sleep. So as you sort of stir, Bash says, "Shh, don't wake them. I'm gonna head off and get some sleep if you want to carry on and finish the watch."
I look at Bash and I hand him some rations and say, "See you."
He refuses to take them and just nods and heads off. So, the rest of the evening goes without any kind of incident. Anara, you finish out the watch, and it goes a little later than normal. Everyone else, you guys all sort of come to wake in the morning. If anyone wants to poke their head down in the cellar, you'd notice that Anari is awake and watching. Fiala and Naemaris is still asleep. Everyone gets their long rest, including Naemaris and Fiala when you do wake. Naemaris mark off 8 hours of your exhaustion. You have, let's say, 20, 48, so you got 40 hours left before you're fully recovered.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that, you all come to consciousness. What are the plans for this day? So, Sadiq, Alessandros, Bash is probably still sleeping in a little bit. So, Sadiq, Alessandros, and Het, you probably come down to the main part of the inn before anyone else.
I want to meet them in the main part if I can.
Yep. So as you sort of wake up, you move back upstairs, and I think Anari's decided she's going to remain downstairs with Naemaris at this point.
Good morning, team.
I talked a little with Naemaris, and I think she might know her way around Cass's castle if we want to get those items. It's something to think about.
Yes, it would be good to have inside information, as long as we can trust it.
I don't trust it.
I also spoke to Anari, and she sent a message to the Enclave, who came back with an answer for us. Basically, they want Naemaris taken for trial at Valond. They want us to give it a Thorfey. That is their instruction, at least. But what are your thoughts? I'm not sure if that's the way we are headed, right?
And what will Thorfey do? Isn't that her father?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was hoping Sadiq or someone might have some other ideas.
Well, taking her for trial sounds like a great idea, but
We're also pressed for
I don't-
time.
yeah, I don't know how we're going to get her there and then head back in the opposite direction again.
Can't
Het,
we-
at this point, you receive a message from Coram. Master Het, Coram Mordan. As instructed, the Enclave has received word that Naemaris has been returned. We would prefer to have her returned to Valond for questioning and potentially trial. You will have, in 1 day's time, an envoy of the Valond City Guard sent to you to retrieve Naemaris.
Can Het reply to this?
And reply to that message.
Het puts 2 fingers to one side of his head and he says, I hear you loud and clear. Stop. Okay, will you want us to stay in this village for another day? Stop. Will you meet us on the road? Can we move on? Stop. Which is the best option? Stop.
Oh my god.
After a short time, you receive another message. A little bit of a hint of laughter in it, but not too much. I mean, he's trying. You can hear that he's trying to remain kind of noble, and he he gets the humor. No, stay in Holland at least one more day. Probably within the next 24 hours, the envoy should arrive. They will be porting partway there, and the rest will be travelled by foot to collect Naemaris and return her to Volond, where she'll be thoroughly checked out by the mages for any residual leftover spell, whatever it is, and potential trial. If all clear, she will then potentially be returned to the Lions if you so wish.
Excellent. That is great news. Stop. We'll wait another day for envoy. Over and out. This is Big White Ducky signing off.
I'm just gonna shake my head.
And as the camera pans to Corum, you can see him face palming heavily.
Het turns back to the group. Hold it, team. Before we make any decisions, I just had a mind link, or a message or something from Corum. He says they're going to send an envoy to collect Naemaris. We must wait in Volond one more day. I guess that's doable, right?
Yeah, I guess we've got no choice. So yeah, okay.
I mean, technically, he's your boss, so.
Good, excellent. Guys had rough nights. You are very quiet this morning.
I don't like the idea of just sending her away.
I don't think it's to be sent away. They want to put her on trial. If we go back to Volond for a trial, we will be completely off track, and I think this position we are in will get out of control if we are gone for too long.
Can we pump Naemaris for information?
That is
No.
an excellent idea.
And
Yeah,
by this time, Bash has joined you guys. He sort of slept in a little bit longer because he went to bed a lot later than you guys, but he managed to get his full night's rest and now joins you guys. Morning. So what's the plan? What's happening?
So, Bash, what do you like at torturing?
Well, I like to torture people if they deserve it, so who are we torturing?
Guess.
Allie.
What? What? No, didn't do it. No.
Bash
Torturing Allie.
just grins broadly and sort of looks at you, Alessandros. That sounds like fun.
Sadiq, back me here. I think questioning her is fine. I don't think she needs to be tortured. It doesn't seem very... I mean, she's not giving us any reason to torture her yet.
I had. Take the fun out of it.
Allie, everything that Bash does to her, I'm going to do to you. So keep that in mind.
Oh, don't worry, Miss Alessandra, Miss Fiona. Bash don't hurt people that don't deserve it. And if Miss Alessandra decides to torture, what's her name, Naemaris, for no reason, I'll smash his face in.
Kind Bash.
And he just grins at you again.
How's this? You guys get the information. I'll stay up here.
I mean, I don't trust her either, but there's no need to go right to the torture. I mean, we've got to figure out whether she's lying to us or not first. I mean, if we figure out she's lying and still working for the evil fellow, then sure, cut off her fingers, cut off her toes. You know what? I mean, I'm quite down for a bit of torture. But if she's on the level, if she's fully restored and herself again, and can give you guys the information you need, then the easiest course of action is just to ask and decide for yourselves whether she's telling the truth or not.
Okay, I'll stay up here. You can question her.
Well, suit yourself.
No, we'll
No,
all go
you're good.
together, and we'll discuss with her, what.
I mean, the way I look at it, I mean, I don't know her or anything. I mean, I only just met you guys, but from what I can tell, just in this, the little bit of time I spent with her last night and the conversation between Fiona and her, she seems pretty on the level. She's guilty. She's feeling really guilty about what she's done. I don't know that she was in control at all. And this Cash fella, he's powerful. And if he's working with that great big dragon dude and the Prince of Hell, then, well, who can refuse the Prince of Hell? I don't even think any of us could if he decided that he wanted one of us for the champion. I mean, and I know I probably couldn't resist that kind of magic. And I'm pretty strong.
My fault anyway.
I'm gonna order a coffee and a mushroom omelet to bring down with me.
So you grab some food, you get your mushroom omelet and coffee, and you guys all head down to the cellar. Naemaris is awake. And Anari's there sitting, keeping an eye on her. She's also sitting on the opposite side of the room. There is no window down here, so there's only candlelight. You guys probably bring another couple of candles down with you, because the ones overnight would have probably burnt down quite a few bit. So it's not bright light, but it's not dark either.
All right, who wants to ask first?
Het can.
Well, Het didn't want to hog all the questions, but Het does have a few. Naemaris, are you able to field some questions, do you think?
So Naemaris, you're feeling a lot better today.
Mm-hmm.
You've had a night's rest. You're still fairly exhausted. Your body still feels like you've run a marathon. I mean, physically you feel drained, but mentally you're sort of a lot more with it today.
And I look at the mushroom omelette and the coffee, and I look at Fiona, and I'm like,
And I take a bite out of it and eat it in front of her a little bit.
Really?
We have some things to ask you, Naemaris, and then you can have some breakfast.
That is so mean.
Torture. You guys were against me on torture. Jeez.
Wow.
That's a different type of torture, that is.
I expected that from Ellie or me, not from you. That is amazing.
I'm like a diamond, I have facets. Go on.
I was never not gonna answer your questions.
Okay, so Naemaris, first question for me that I can think of offhand. Are you willing to aid us in the battle against Kosis and the like, all the evil really in general?
Well, I was never not willing to. It was, I told you last night, that was not me. That just wasn't. I've always been in this fight for the good.
So, the question now is, how did you get turned? Because the armor wasn't on you beforehand, and the armor was cursed, we believe. So, how did that happen? When we were all standing there, and he said, I forget his name, the damn vampire guy.
Cass.
Cass, that's the one. When Cass says, hey, come with me, and you're like, oh, I'll come with you, yay! That's like, that was pretty much, we thought, what the hell? You were not wearing the armor then. How did that happen?
I think it was actually the Lord of Hell that showed up and said
Yes, it was Asmodeus. Cass was there, but you're right, it was Asmodeus that spoke the words.
Correct. That's right. My memory's a little foggy. I just remember you turning about face and running to the enemy instantly like he was your master, like a little puppy. Woo, woo, and it's not good enough, and I want to know it won't happen again.
Okay, at this point, I'm looking at the DM going, what happened there?
Well, you know what you know of the feeling you felt at the time, that it was as though a fog came over your eyes. You lost all, at that point, just lost all control of your body. You could see and hear everything, but you couldn't control it. It was like you were inside screaming, trying to stop, but you just couldn't do anything. You had no control over your body whatsoever, and you're not sure whether it was a spell or whether it was another being, whether you were possessed. But you do know now that has been broken, it cannot happen again. You feel that with every fiber of your being, that whatever happened can't happen again.
Okay, so I relay that to the team.
All right, and Head has one more. I'm assuming the rest of you have more, but Head wants to know, are you prepared, or willing at least, to be punished for these crimes you've committed against the whole of this nation, this world? Are you ready to be punished?
Well, I did. Even though it wasn't me, I did what I did, so I deserve to be punished.
Okay, fair answer. Anyone else? Sadiq?
Before you carry on, Bash wants to roll an insight check because no one else is going to fucking do it. So Bash is going to do it. He's torn at this point. He's sort of heard stories of the champion. He's heard stories of Naemaris, and he's really not sure that she's telling the truth. He's rolled, and he is satisfied with the roll. He he just leans forward, sort of listening intently, and sort of says to you, Naemaris, and says, so you can remember everything you did, and so you know the people you killed or ordered to have killed, because I mean obviously you didn't kill them all yourself, but
I look at Bash and I'm like, have you ever been put under a charm spell?
well, no, I'm too clever for that, but actually no, I have. Oh, shit.
Actually, he danced. He danced a lot.
Yeah,
Then he puts his
danced
head in his hands in his face. He goes, yeah, I have.
Then I need say no more.
I don't remember that night.
No, you.
You.
No, you were very, very drunk. That was an Ari.
Yeah, Bash turned around to Fiona and says, yeah, you were pretty, let's say, not yourself that night. But yeah, so Bash is happy with that. He sort of leans back against the wall.
Sadiq, do you have any questions?
Yes, but not at this time.
Allie?
Nope, none at all. Except, where's the keep? Or more important, where's the islands we're hunting for?
I know, would I know that?
Well, the question, where's the keep? You're not stupid, but you're not a mind reader. So you would probably respond with what keep. 'cause
Yeah.
there
Which
wasn't-
keep would you like to
I
know
mean, there's
about?
about 1 million keeps in the realms. The second question, you've seen where Cass keeps. You've seen his treasure chambers. You'd know where those items would be if they were anywhere. They'd be in that chamber. You've not been in it, but you know where it is.
Okay, well there you go. I know where they are, and I could probably take you there, but I've not actually been in the place.
Doggy doggy. Probably going to take a short break just shortly. Actually, we'll take a short break now, guys. We're having some tech issues across the board here. Looks like Yanti's having some tech problems. So we'll take a 5-minute break while people are having tech issues, and then we'll come back and carry on from this point with the interrogation of Naemaris, kind of. So be with us, guys. We'll be right back. When we come back, we'll answer some questions if you've got them. For those who are just joining us, thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. HWH Joker and the Don, thank you so much for the follows. Twin Gats, cheers for the raid, buddy. Appreciate it. And Johan SJJ with the follow as well. Just give us 5 minutes, guys. We'll be right back.
Did you forget to get your rego?
And we're back.
No, I had to pay it on Friday.
Hey, roasted chickens, what's up? All right, chat, we're back. After just had to have a short break, we had a few technical issues to sort through. Seems like it's all been sorted, and we're back. You guys got any questions before we head back into the show? Now's the time to ask. Whether you want to ask about the cast, myself, the show, the story, any of that sort of stuff, we can answer a few quick questions at this point. So feel free. If not, we'll get straight back into it. Posture check. Yeah. Thank you, because my posture is shit. I'm really bad at slouching. But just to give everyone a quick heads up as well, Twin Gats dropping the biddies. Thank you very much. Just a quick thing too, guys. Cams. We will be switching to cams for all the players in the coming near-ish future when we're able to buy a new webcam, because we need to get a new one before we can get nutty on cam. At the moment, everyone's sold out, which is kind of stupid. But we just have to wait for that to happen. So when that happens, just be aware that we will be changing up the overlay and switching over to a brand new setup with webcams for all the players. The DnD Beyond extension will be the way to check character sheets. So none of this information that you see at the moment will be on the overlay. We will have character portrait cycling with character names, character classes. Character names will be under the cams. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put the actual, the Twitch names on the cams as well or not yet. I probably will, but you'll be able to see the cast as well. I've organised and made up a brand new cam overlay, a map reference overlay, and a battle map overlay as well. So I'm looking forward to doing that in the future. Also, too, make sure you check out the Curse of Strahd campaign on Wednesday night for those in the US, Thursday morning for those in New Zealand and Australia. And of course, the Baal Alternative Podcast, Baal Show, on Friday mornings or Thursday nights, same time as the D&D on Wednesday night for the US, 7 o'clock Eastern. On Thursday night will be the Baal Show. Friday morning, 11 a.m. for those in the OC. It's basically just a podcast, myself and Malice chatting about alternative things, horror movies, music, movies, all movies, fashion, games, D&D. We're going to do a dedicated D&D podcast once a month, just talking about D&D stuff. And we're going to have musical guests. Our first guest this month will be Deathvale, who is in a band in the US called Nectophile. He's going to talk about what they're all about and how they got started and what they're doing. And obviously with lockdown, they're not really doing a hell of a lot, but we've got other musical artists that we're trying to pin down at the moment as well to get on the show. So definitely come and check that out. If you can't check it out live, don't worry. It's a podcast. The links to the podcast are on my Discord. So join the Discord in the general chat under the pin section. Both links to Spotify and the Anchor FM links for the podcast are there. So without further ado, we shall return to the cellar of the heroine Chalice in the township of Helond, where our heroes, being reunited with Naemaris, mistrusting as they should be, have manacled her into in the cellar and are now questioning her, trying to either A, find some information or determine whether she is truly herself again or not. Hero and Chalice. I mean, if heroine's your thing. So, team.
Sorry, roasted chicken, they won't let me.
So, Naemaris still chained to the wall, sitting on the bed. The rest of you sort of standing and seated across the cellar from her, asking questions. Head has asked a few. Fiala is still eating the omelette and drinking the coffee in front of her. Bash has made a few sort of comments and asked a question. Anything else anyone would like to ask?
Do you know if Cass was responsible for killing the Black Fang? in Voland?
I can quite honestly say that yes, he was.
Do you know why?
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do. It was because you guys were coming to see them about something.
And obviously he didn't want what we were going to ask to happen, I'm guessing?
That is correct.
Did you have a part in it?
I led it. Well, I didn't lead it. Ashana led it, but I was there.
So you led it. Oh, awesome.
So is Ashana you? Are you Ashana, or what? What's the deal there?
Hang on.
What was the question? You should know that.
Yes. Yes. Ashana is a part of me. She's been suppressed for a very long time. I think that night, if we think back to when we all first met in the inn, and I found myself naked out in the street, having destroyed the inn. That was not me. That was. Kaz has also been scrying on you.
Oh shit. We need to get some protection against that.
That was going to be my next question. Does Cass know where we are at all times, and can we stop it?
He doesn't know where you are at all times, but he has the ability, or has not just the ability himself, but he has people that have the ability to scry on you from time to time so that he can keep tabs, which is why he knew where you were going to be the previous evening. And that's what you know.
Okay, I relay that.
Do you know his weakness?
As far as you know, he has none.
There are none that I've seen.
Are we ruffling his feathers, Eddie?
Yes, yes, you are.
No, they're
No,
not.
no, you are not.
He is arrogant. He is very intelligent, but he is also very, very powerful. He is not emotional in any way, shape, or form when it comes to these things. He's just having fun, basically.
Well,
But one thing you do know, Naemaris, is on the other hand, the team is definitely getting under Kostas'.
Well, then I relay that.
He becomes increasingly agitated and angry with everything that these guys do, basically.
at least we're getting under someone's skin. Or scales, whichever it may be. Now, with these magical artifacts, so you know where they are. Well, you seem to know where they are. You can't draw us a map, though, can you?
No, I can't. I know of them, and I have an idea of where they are, but I've not actually seen them.
And Naemaris can't draw.
Naemaris can
And-
hardly read.
And how do you know where they are?
You've been told that that's where he keeps his most prized possession in his treasure vault.
So wait a minute. Which items are they that have been kept in the vault?
Memories. 1 moment. I gotta find my notes on that. Naemaris sits there and sort of, you see her thinking really hard because she's trying to remember. I don't think she was there. She wouldn't know what items were anyway. But what you guys know is
I'm gonna feed her a couple of bites of breakfast and some coffee while she's thinking.
yeah, well, she won't know. This is what you guys remember. I'm trying to remember where I put them. My list. Quest list. So, the ones that have rumored to be in Cass's possession is the Horn of Valhalla, the Ancient Gold Dragon Tooth Dagger, the Dragon, and the Dragon Slayer's Sword.
And they're in his vault.
And
Is there a way
they're
to
supposed to be in
get in?
his personal vault. Well, Naemaris has told you she can lead you to the vault. She knows where the vault is. She's got a pretty good understanding of her way around Cass's keep. She would have told you that at any given time, normally, if Cass is there, then there is a substantial horde of undead guarding the castle, but when he's away, the castle is virtually unguarded. It might be a few sort of roaming, possible vampire spawn, a few skeletal warriors potentially. There's definitely other things there, but nowhere near as many as at the castle. She's also given you a bit of insight into Cass himself. She's told you that he is a very formidable fighter. Like he wields a very nasty sword, which she's not sure what it's called, but she's seen it drain the strength from his enemies and destroy them pretty quickly. He moves with lightning speed. He has the ability to spellcast, and she kind of tells you guys before she sort of starts to drift off to sleep again with exhaustion that at your current skill level, with the group your size, with her included, you could probably take him. But short of that, you would definitely struggle in a battle against him at the moment. And with that, she drifts back into unconsciousness or sleep.
So the group that is coming to pick her up.
So
does this
you're
mean we
in the
need to take her
morning.
with us?
Yeah, so you're in the morning of the whatever day it is, I can't remember. So they will be there either that evening or early the following morning, roughly. They said roughly a day. So,
Okay,
yes,
so I'm a little concerned that this group that's coming may not be the group that we're expecting. I mean, I could be wrong.
So you don't trust Quorum now.
No, it's not that. I don't trust the other side. They could be intercepting whatever.
That is true too.
Possible, I guess.
The message I got said it was Corum and sounded like Corum.
No. Look, I get that, but if Kosis is able to spy on us, who's to say he can't spy on anyone else?
Oh, right. I do not know.
And the fact that
Well, you guys do know that Valond has been warded against that since the attack on the guild house too. So chances are that anything that's been said or done in Valond is not being intercepted or spy, or anyone can spy on it, because the whole city's been warded against that ever since the attack on the guild house and what happened with you guys. That information you do have.
There's always the human spy theory as well.
There is. Who have you spoken to in the last hour?
It's not so much us, it's the guard. Like, they need to get orders from somewhere. Unless it's direct from the dude himself.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you don't know who's coming. You just know that it's an envoy from Valond. So
Exactly.
you're not sure whether it's regular city guard or Quorum's personal guard, or whether it could be mages coming. Who knows? I mean, you're just being told. All the information that Hit got was that it's an envoy from Valond. It's coming to retrieve it.
Yeah,
Yes.
this envoy, did Herm say, like, who it was?
Not directly. He said it was an envoy from Valond. Are you guys... I mean, are you suggesting we keep Naemaris to ourselves and not give her over? Maybe get what we need done with her, with us first? Or is that what I'm not sure what you're suggesting?
We need these
No.
items.
Well, I'm worried that, yes, we need the items, but at the same time, she needs to stand trial first. And we need
Agreed.
some insurances that she's not going to turn again while we're in the den with all the others around us, type deal.
Well,
Um,
the fact that our Quorum, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Our benefactor, I suppose you could call him, also went through the same process and hasn't been turned back.
Not quite the same thing.
No, he went through the exact same thing.
He didn't have a little
Yeah.
Oshana living in him, though.
No, but he was possessed. He was essentially had a touch of evil, which is exactly why Naemaris was chosen. That's how the champion is chosen. And Corum basically told you as much. But the reason he was chosen is because he had chosen to make a pact with a devil, and basically his soul had been touched by evil.
But that all beside the point. We're going to rescue this town, then go to the Tomb of Horrors / find the nomad Goliaths / orcs, and then do whatever else we need to do after that. So raiding the keep was always a plan that was later on anyway. It just means now we're going to have potentially somebody that knows an easier way in, potentially.
As you guys are talking, Naemaris stirs again, sort of turns over, facing you guys.
I'll sit up and look at them. The Goliaths are dead.
You have been a busy girl, haven't you?
Wasn't that the rest of your tribes, Adik?
And as are the orcs that were with them.
And you can see like she's given this information, but she's not happy about it. In fact, she looks extremely saddened by having, not so much having to give this news to you, but with hearing you talking about it sort of stirred her from her sleep. And she obviously wants to be truthful with you guys as much as possible. And then again, she sort of just turns over and lies down facing away from you guys.
Well, we can scratch that one off our list.
Still got the Tomb of Horrors. So
Yeah, well, I mean, I can still take you to the entrance of that place. It's not too far from here either. I mean, when these people come from Boulogne, we can pretty much gather what sort of supplies you might need and get out. I'm pretty sure that once you guys sort of dealt with that place, everything will be sorted out with Naemaris one way or the other, and then maybe then we can attack Dash's keep and get the shinies that you guys are looking for. Start making plans to save this realm, I guess.
You know, Bash, for as big and bulky as you are, you're actually not that dumb, are you?
Well, you know, it's one of those things, mate. You people look at you and they see a half orc and they just assume that you're a big dumb dude with an axe who likes to kill people. I mean, I am half human too, you know. I was raised with humans.
And you do like killing people, of course.
I do like killing people, but that's just fun. I mean, like I said, I don't like killing good people because good people don't deserve to be killed. It's the people who deserve to be killed I like to kill. That's fun. But my dad was a soldier, so I got taught how to plan a battle, tactics and things like that. Like ambush, that was a good plan. That was a good plan. And it worked really well. So yeah, don't let someone's looks deceive you. Just because they might act a bit dumb doesn't mean they really are.
So I guess we're waiting for this envoy to arrive, then we're heading off to this Tomb of Horrors.
The tomb's a scary place. Don't get me wrong. When you guys get there, you're going in there on your own. I'll wait outside just so you can find your way out again, because it's a pretty sort of full-on place. You got to be really careful. Hey, I've been in there twice. How do you think I got these fucking scars? I ain't stupid. But you guys need those things. I'll show you how to get in, because if I didn't show you how to get in, you'd probably find one of the false entrances and get lost forever. So I'm going to show you the real way to get in, so you don't get lost. I was stuck. I went through one of those other entrances. I got stuck in there for 5 weeks before I found my way out. It was fucking horrible. But like I say, I show you the real entrance. It's a pretty straight shot to wherever I think you need to go to find your shinies.
Well, in that case, Bash, could you look after our prisoner gently? A little bashing here and there probably wouldn't hurt. And I think the rest of us can go resupply and stock up. What you all reckon?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm getting low on health pots. And also, we need to look into trying to protect ourselves from those scryers.
Also true. During this conversation that Bash was having with Ali, Hit was trying to take in Sadiq's body language after hearing about the Goliath and his tribe being killed. Was Sadiq giving off any, I don't know, body language as such?
Roll an insight.
$13.
With that, I think I'll let the Deke decide whether is
He-
giving any
he-
impression at all?
He would have seen my shoulders slump, as in, crap.
Okay. So, there you go.
Noted. I agree with Ellie. I think maybe restock and yes, getting something to maybe stop the scrying from working would be good. Is Bash good to stay here, Ellie? Did he say he was happy?
I didn't ask. I just hinted at it. Bash, are you all right to stay here while we resupply everything?
Well,
Needed.
you're going to need me to take you to the entrance because I can't
Yeah,
just
yeah.
point it out on a map, you know. But I can
Yeah.
come back here after I showed you and look after
no,
Naemaris.
No, what I'm talking about is we wait for the envoy. While we're waiting, we stock up, then we head out.
Oh, right, of course, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not sure how much this town's got left after being pillaged by the thieves and stuff, but they might have some bits and pieces left. You could definitely go find out, I guess.
Shouldn't need too much.
Did we even check the bodies?
Yeah, you did. You looted. They didn't have a whole lot on them. I believe Trashy wrote down what was collected.
I did.
You did. Maybe you didn't. Alessandros, I'm sure that you had the bag of holding and you were putting everything in it as we were speaking.
Not that I know he really gives a shit, but yeah.
Pouch with 7 hooped earrings.
Ah, that's right. Yes. So you found the cool looking earrings. Not sure what they are yet because you didn't identify them.
I may have someone that might be able to help with that one.
You might have someone that might be able to help with that, potentially.
And he might also be able to help with this scrying business, maybe.
Potentially. Certainly try.
Are you talking about our little halfling friend?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Froden might be able to identify them shinies, but I don't know about protection against a scrying spell. That's some pretty powerful magics. You might need to talk to. Is it I heard one of you mention Forfeit? Isn't he one of them bigwig mages from Bond? Heard his
but
name
we
before.
don't want to go all the way back there. Jeez.
Well, I mean, the thing
we
is,
don't-
you're going to go back there eventually, aren't you? I mean, you're not going to stick out here for the next fucking 6 years. I mean, yes, you want to protect yourself against a scrying spell, but I say that's pretty powerful magic. You're not going to find some mage in a fucking backwater that's going to be able to protect you against that sort of stuff. You might just have to wait a little bit until you get back to Valonda to find that sort of stuff out.
Yeah,
You know
we
what- you know what I
can
mean.
do that, but yeah, we'll see. Actually, I'm gonna turn to Het and say, hey, can you get in contact with Valon and get Thorfie on making up something to do that, to protect us against the scrying?
Let me see what I can do.
Because Het
Don't you have-
was given
Yeah, message scroll.
a scroll of messaging, wasn't he? Or
Correct,
a scroll
I
of
have a
sending,
scroll of sending
scroll of sending, yeah.
with 3 charges. So
Okay.
yes, I do. I can.
Also, maybe Inari could send a message and ask them around Clave as well.
Yes, she can.
So, Het,
I
you
don't wanna
send your
miss-
message first if you wish.
Yeah, I don't want to mess this message up. So, what exactly do you guys want me to say?
Request Thorfie to look into some form of
Anti-scry.
protection against scrying. Something else that came to mind, but now it's lost me.
That's a good start, though, being able to be protected against scry. Maybe he can work on something. We can clear out this tomb and then collect it next time we get back there.
Yes, that'll be a good start, I think.
I mean, I've got 2 more sendings if I have to on the scroll, so it's not too bad. All right, I'll do that now. And Het starts making the incantation, drawing the symbols in the air, and then he says, "Hello, Thorfi. It is Het here. Stop. We are requesting some sort of protection against the ability or spell of scrying. Stop. We are far away from Valond. We'd like to pick it up when it is ready. Let us know your answer. Stop. Over and out."
I love it.
A few moments later, you get a response. There is no need to say stop at the end of each sentence. But protection against scrying is a very powerful magic. But I will look into it for you. But unfortunately, depending on what we need to enchant, it may take some time. Probably 2 to 3 weeks. But I will let you know when you return to Venond how we're getting on.
Okay, that's done, team. He was confident that he could do it, said maybe 2 to 3 weeks. He says it's very hard to do, however. And when we can get back there, he'll let us know how he's getting on. He might send me a message, maybe. And he told me not to say stop anymore while I'm messaging him.
Why were you saying stop for?
So he knows where each sentence stops, because he might have he may be writing it down, and it might not know when to put his punctuation in. And then if you keep talking and not using punctuation and run out of breath, you can keel over and faint.
You're adorable, Het.
Bash is
No,
just
he
sitting
just
there
raises an
chuckling.
eyebrow.
Bash is just sitting there chuckling to himself.
You know, he actually does have a point. Some people aren't so smart that they just inhale. They need that visual aid. But Het, come on.
Some people's IQs are rather sad.
Het will show you, Ellie, and then Het, as he looks at Ellie, he yells as hard as he can in telepathy. And he says, "Hello, my name is Het, and you don't know nothing about me, and I will tell you anything I can, but you need to ask quickly, and blah, 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 blah."
What's the look on Ellie's face?
Alessandra's roll a wisdom save for me.
Oh god. 11.
11? Your brain hurts. You just your eyes close and you get an instant migraine, just pain right between your eyes as Het's just in your head babbling, and it goes on for a while, and it's like, holy crap.
Het, stop, please.
You want to clip that one up, Drax? That was awesome.
And there's that word, stop. Now I will do it again. And this time Het says, "Hello, stop. My name is Het. Stop. If you have any questions, you may ask me. Stop." And he says, "Is that better?" But white rubber duppy, over and out.
Oh, shit.
Point taken. Okay, you can stop now.
Well done, team. Hit DM's inspiration, dude, if you don't already have it.
Het has got it, but Het loves the laugh.
That was awesome. Oh, well. Actually, I think I gave everyone's DM's inspiration last game, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
You did.
Yeah, we did. We've all still got it.
Right, so with that, Bash has agreed that he will sit and watch Naemaris while you guys go and potentially search for supplies ready for your journey to the Tomb of Horrors. And Naemaris at this point is snoring loudly. occasional fart as well. Had a pretty high fiber diet.
Het, as they're walking away, turns to Sadiq and says, Sadiq, you had no lighting up of any kind from your amulets around Naemaris, right?
Correct.
No, I haven't had it light up in her presence.
Okay, just checking.
But that being said, it didn't light up before that either, when she was going through this change.
You are correct. Good point.
And it didn't light up when she was burned either. It was always in the presence of Cass or someone else evil, so you're not sure whether it was her or them.
I guess that means she's not fiendish even when she's on the opposition.
Yes, apparently so. Might have to look into seeing if I can get this amulet improved even more.
It could do with a compass.
Actually, I was thinking more of just like the enemy glows in that color instead.
Are we hearing this?
If they're not trying to hide it, yeah.
Hey, you don't need that compass anymore.
His mouth drops open and he says, What?
We have Naemaris back. She's got the compass, remember? You don't need that anymore.
If her regular compass is anything like her moral compass, I will rather stick with mine.
Are we having a fight?
Oh, look, isn't it cute? They're fighting.
No, Hit is just passionate about his compass.
that's not angry hit.
Hit could not be angry at you, Fiala.
I
That
bet
being
you
said,
could.
that being said, all she's got is her clothes at the moment anyway.
she's
so
got-
we still need
yeah.
heads come.
Yeah, so all Naemaris has on is just basic cotton clothing. You guys have her two-handed sword that she had with her, and her shield. And the armor was wood. So, someone make a note on the character sheet, or just in a note in general, that you are carrying a large, very large shield. Although it is very light, you picked up, but it's a large shield with a face carved on the front, with its tongue sort of sticking out. A very menacing looking face, and a very large, heavy, two-handed sword. Both very fancy.
Sword or a mace? She was wearing. Oh, she had a sword.
Her old weapon, not with her when you guys fought. And she probably would have told you during the conversations about Cass's castle that her old weapon is in Cass's vault as well.
Alright, let's go get this stuff. Who's coming with?
Hit will come.
Yeah, I'll go
Well,
along.
all I need is healing pots. So if you can get me some healing pots, I'll be happy.
I could do with a few more arrows.
You guys make your way back upstairs to the main part of the inn, and Thurman is sort of milling around, getting things sort of set up for the daylight. The place last night was a bit of a mess. There was a few tables turned over and broken. Obviously, this place had been used by the bandits as sort of a headquarters. He'd obviously been shackled up. The town was sort of in disrepair, and there's a few buildings that have been burnt down and stuff. But at the start of the day, sort of, he greets you guys. Morning. Did y'all sleep very well? I hope. And is your prisoner? She's still chained up, and not giving you any trouble?
Yes, she is secured and not giving us any trouble.
Good. I'd like to thank you for helping us rid us of those bandits. They did a number on me in here. They made a mess of the place. Taking me a little while to get it all sorted, but I'd like to give you this. And he hands over. Speaking of healing potions, hands over 2 greater healing potions and 2 regular healing potions to you guys. I know it's not much, but it's the least I can do. I've heard, I couldn't help overhearing you earlier talking about the tomb. You guys are going into the Tomb of Horrors. You're gonna need these, definitely.
Well, thank you very much.
All yours, Snake.
It's like I said, it's the least I can do. And if you're looking for like maybe weapons or weapon repairs or armor, you definitely want to go see Gundar. He's over at the stables over there. The blacksmith is part of the stables. He'll help you out with any repairs you need on armor or things like that.
Oh, I need some arrows, so that would be a good idea.
He does arrows as well. Brilliant, Fletcher.
Marvellous, thank you very much.
All right, off we go.
Thank you. Is anyone with the last? The big green fella. Oh, is he with the prisoner? I don't want her left here by herself. She scares me.
Yeah, he's down there.
All right. Well, thank you. And like you said, you're welcome to stay for as long as you need. So you guys head out.
Yep, I'll just slip him 5 gold across the bar.
And he sort of pulls it across the bar and just gives you a nod. Doesn't say anything, just gives you a nod. So you guys head out to the outdoors. The birds are singing.
I can hear that.
It's actually a really nice day today. The last few days have been a little bit overcast. And so it's actually kind of, you step out and the sun sort of hits you in the face as you step out the front door of the inn, and across the square stables you can hear the blacksmith across the way. He's definitely doing his blacksmith thing. You can sort of hear the sounds from across the square, the clanging of metal and the whoosh of sort of a forge being bellowed to keep it hot. And so you proceed to the blacksmith?
Question, there's no stockades out here, is there?
No, there's no, this place is not walled, it's just an open village. Well, township, it's not a village. It's about 1,500 people.
That's a good
1,800
thought.
people.
That is not a good thought.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
But you're lucky there's not any there.
I'm not worried, but she's already been chained to this cellar. I think that's
So
bad
I'm
enough.
not.
Yeah, there's no stocks, no. They don't have stocks in the town square.
Well, that does.
Yeah, stockade and stocks are 2 different things, by the way.
Oh, that's fine.
But no, there are no stocks for public humiliation. That's not what this realm's about.
Bugger.
Nice try, though.
But they do the walk of shame.
Yeah, I got a bell. We can do that. So you make your way across the town square towards the blacksmith, and indeed you get to the area of the stables, which has been sectioned off as a forge. There is an anvil, and working at the anvil is about a 5'10", 5'11" human. He has white hair and narrow brown eyes, flat nose. He wears sturdy leather clothing and a heavy leather pouch. He's got soot and that all up his hands and arms, and he's just sort of working away on what looks like he's drawing out, maybe looking like he's drawing out a sword of some description. He's working with a hot piece of steel. But kang, ting, 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 kang, ting, 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 kang. It hasn't noticed you at this point.
Excuse me.
Kang, ting, ting, kang. He sort of looks up. He looks up as he sort of strikes the hot metal and sparks fly, and sort of lets the hammer sort of bounce against the anvil. All right, hang on a moment. And he sort of rubs his face and puts the hot metal back into the hot coals, and sort of wipes his hand on his apron, sort of walks up. Right, what can I do you for?
Good morning. I was just wondering if I could possibly purchase some arrows, please.
Arrows? Oh yeah, sure. What type arrows you need? We got crossbow bolts. We got regular arrows. We got arrows with eagle feathers. We got arrows with all sorts of arrows. And he sort of leads to a portion of the blacksmith, and lying against the wall is actually 3 or 4 different types of differently fletched arrows. Looks like there's arrows fletched with black fletching. Looks like probably ravens or crow's feathers. Some that are sort of brown and sort of flecked, probably eagles or things like that. There's a couple of sort of yellowy brown feathers, which probably rock feathers. And then some ones with just standard white fletching, which probably more just a standard local birds.
I look at him and say, which would you prefer? Which would you say was my
well,
truest with the longbow?
Well, it's a longbow. Definitely the rock feather fletching. They fly straight and true. A little bit more expensive, but definitely well worth it.
How many have you got?
He's got 20 there.
How much would you?
Oh, with the rock feathers, they're pretty hard to come by. We're probably 20 gold for gold each. So they're expensive, but it's worth it. You won't miss.
I'll take them all.
Oh, really? Oh, okay then. And he sort of picks them up, and they're tied together with a couple of bits of twine. Sort of hands them over and mark 20 gold off.
Do I just put them under normal arrows?
Yeah, they're for all intents and purposes are standard arrows, but that is there may be an advantage here and there. Let's just say.
Cool.
All right. Anything else anyone needs? I can repair broken armor. If you got a sword that needs repairing, I can repair that too. Or we got some fine blades and bits and pieces here. Nothing magical, mind you. I'm pretty good, but I don't enchant stuff. I can just make it.
I'm good.
No, I'm good. Just want to go see what's his name? What's his name again?
Froden.
That's him.
Oh, you want to see Froden? He'll be in the town square probably shortly. He'll be heading up to the inn, I dare say. He's normally out and about this time in the morning. Well, if that's everything, I'll get back to my work. Thank you very much for your patronage, and thank you very much for assisting us in getting rid of them bandits too. Good to get back to work at my forge. It was horrible. I mean, the forge was cold for like 5 days. It was horrible. You guys notice too, his left eye is looking the opposite direction than his right eye, and it's a little milky, kind of creepy. But with that, and if you aren't going to buy anything else, he sort of turns and heads back and retrieves the hot steel from the forge back onto the anvil and back to hammering out this piece of steel.
Off we go to Froden.
So you turn and head back towards the town square. There's obviously the well in the centre of the town square, raised. It's got a raised lip around the outside. It's got that framing up over the top with the bucket and everything. And as you sort of head back towards the inn, Frodon is making his way across towards you.
Frodo.
Looks up. Oh, good morning. Good morning. I hope you all slept well.
I believe we did.
Oh, it was a good night's sleep. It's the first time we've slept quite so well in a long time. And again, we can't thank you enough. Is there anything else that we can do? I'm not sure how long you're staying, but we're all still a little nervous that the large lady is still here. What is her name, by the way? I feel uncomfortable calling her lady or large lady or e-bitch.
Naemaris.
Oh, Naemaris. Right, I shall remember that. So, what can I do you for?
Would you know of anyone that could identify items for us?
Well, why, yes, I could identify
I
items for you.
have this pouch with 7 hoop earrings in it.
Oh, okay. Well, if you'd like to meet me over at the inn, it'd probably be easier if we can do it over. We can sit down and I can examine them there.
Absolutely.
Posture check. My posture's pretty good, thanks, Drax. But thank you for checking. So, you head over back to the inn. Morning, Frodon.
Just making sure.
Morning. morning, Thurum. Hope everything went all right last night. Aye, fine. It's fine. Can I get y'all a drink? Oh yeah, I'll have just a coffee for me, thank you. I'm just gonna help the what do you call yourselves? I didn't even get your names. I'm so sorry.
Just call me Ali.
Just helping Ali out with identifying some stuff. So there's coffee all round, I guess. On me.
Yeah, that's good. Why, thank you.
So coffee's brought out, and Frodon sits down. And you hand over the pouch with the earrings in it, and he sort of lays them out in front of him. And he closes his eyes and just runs his hands over them, muttering some arcane words. And as he does, his hand sort of starts to glow on the underside. An arcane glow as he waves his hand slowly over each ring, each sort of earring, moves them back and forth. Then after time, he sort of relaxes back, opens his eyes, and says, "What you have there is earrings of sending, basically, or messaging. If whoever's wearing them, you should be able to talk to each other. Like you could literally, almost like a microphone. You hold it." Got to be touching it for it to work, but if you touch it and speak a message, whoever else has the other earrings will be able to hear you. It does have a range, but my notes. Did you write down what I called them?
Nope.
No, I didn't. I did. Excuse me. They are in D&D Beyond too. I just got to remember what I called them. They are Earring of Whisper.
Yep.
So yeah, so in D&D Beyond, you should be able, if you give them to your companions, or everyone you give them to, put Earring of Whisper in your. It will be on your equipment list. Otherwise, just make a note of it.
Cool. I probably won't give one to Hepto.
They are. I'll give you a quick rundown of what they are in a moment. Because we're in my homebrew list.
Not the sending?
No, Earring of Whisper, they're called.
How do you spell it?
Exactly how it's spelled. Earring of Whisper. Or Earrings of Sending, sorry. Dumbass.
That's what I just said.
Yeah. I wrote it down as Earring of Whisper. And there should be 8, not 7.
Okay.
But yeah, so earrings. Each earring can activate the spell Sending. Only individual wearing the earrings can hear or respond to one another. This is a bonus action. So as a bonus action, you can use the Sending spell, which is 25 words or less. But only the people having an earring can hear this particular spell. Earrings of Scream. Stop!
Nose ring of sending.
Well, according to this, it's a pair. So you got
Yep.
one of those and the other one. I'm not going there.
Well, they come in pairs. That's why there's 8. So there's 4 pair. But you can wear one and it can still works. But yeah, so it has to be used as a bonus action, and you have to be physically touching it for it to work.
Just as a note, Hit is outside the building that they're in at the moment, just guarding outside. He didn't go in.
Okay. So Frodon says yes. They will come in handy if you get separated, or for example, with what happened here last night, if you were splitting to 2 separate groups to attack simultaneously, you could still keep in communication with each other. Very handy.
That would come in very handy. So
Very good find.
So who's with me at the moment?
You have Fiala, Sadiq, Anari with you at the moment. Bash is downstairs. Hit is outside.
All right, I'll give a pair to Sadiq. A pair to.
You don't need to be pairs. They only need to have one for it to work.
But I have 8 of them, so.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You don't have to be wearing a pair for it to work, though.
I give a pair to Sadiq. I get a pair to Inari and a pair to Fiala. I'll think on Het.
Well, if you've given a pair to Sadiq, Inari, and Fiala, that leaves you with 2. Not 8 pair, 4 pair. So there's only 8 total.
Yeah, I know.
So you have 2 left.
Don't
Yeah,
forget Bash. I'll give one of mine to Het. I'll go outside and give one of mine to Het.
No, don't. No.
You can't do shit about it. You can protest all you like.
Oh, hello, Fiala. What is this?
Ali wanted me to give you one of these.
I'm gonna tell him what it's for.
That guy is a bastard.
If it's
I don't
supposedly-
even have ears.
You can put it anywhere you want a piercing, really. Wait a minute. First off,
Yeah, well,
you touch it and then you can talk to each other in the party without being next to each other.
Oh, sweet. That means you guys can finally answer me when I talk to you in your minds.
Prince Alfred of
Yes.
Sending. Oh, nutty.
Okay, I shall think of where might I clip this. That is lovely. Did Ali actually give it to you to give to me? That is something that is not often thoughtful from her.
Would I lie?
I guess not. Does Hit think she's lying?
Insight.
Hit rolled a natural 20.
Oh!
Yayla, are you lying?
Yes.
Hit knows, but he just smiles and lets it go.
So, what are we doing, team?
What time of day is it?
Still mid-morning.
This envoy is supposed to come
Probably
tomorrow?
sometime this evening or early tomorrow morning. You were just given within sort of 24 hours.
Hit uses the earring and pushes through the fins on the back of his head. And he and he clips it back together however it's meant to clip. It's quite painful. It draws blood on the fin. And then he touches the earring and says, out loud, he says, do we have to speak out loud for this?
Everyone, if anyone that has the earrings has put one on, you would hear hit.
Anari touches her earring. I don't know that you have to speak out loud. I'm not sure. But I did it.
And hit, you hear that reply from Anari.
I heard that.
Hang on, Hit, what? What? No, stop. What?
I did say you've got one in as well, Alessandro.
Yeah.
No, I was trying to be quiet, but with my throatal announcement, it is difficult. I will use this only if needed. Stop.
So is any hint? So you're not going to try it without speaking? You're going to keep speaking?
I'm going to hear that and try it without speaking.
So you try to send a message without talking. It's
Yep.
going to think it. What are you going to say?
Did you get that?
What are you going to say?
Did you get it? Can you hear me?
And you can.
So you only have to think the messages. Is that what we're getting?
You heard that reply, Anari. You can reply.
Oh, yes, you do. I thought that last one, so I was just waiting to see if I got anything.
This is tricky. Hit thinks back and telepaths, so she gets like when you're watching two YouTube channels at once and there's like a delay, and he thinks back and he says, "Hello, I am Hit. Is this coming through?"
And my ears start bleeding. Stop.
So bear in mind,
So
there's
wait a minute,
there's a
I
bonus section.
I would have been hearing one of them, wouldn't I?
You would have heard.
You said it.
Through the
You would have been hearing Inari. Well, no, Inari started talking in her head, so you wouldn't have heard anything. The only people you would have heard would have been the ones that actually spoke out loud. So you would have heard Alessandros initially. You would have heard Inari's first statement, and then everything else Inari said you would not have heard. You may have heard, depending on how close you are to the front door, you may have heard Hit talking out there, possibly muffled through the door. But yeah, so you would have got bits and pieces of parts of conversation.
Unless you put your ring in, and then you would have got everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I've got the ring in.
So you would have heard
That's why.
everything.
So if
Get
two
the
people were
stereo.
talking to each other, everyone's
Yes,
gonna hear what we're doing?
everyone with an
Watch
earring on
your
will
thoughts, people.
hear. If you're touching it and using that bonus action sending, everyone with an earring on will hear what is said.
Yes, you have to activate it. So
You have to
all
physically
sweet
say,
nothings are
yeah.
fine.
You all have to like physically say, I'm going to touch my earring and as a bonus action cast sending, or speak through the earring, just so that we know that you're using the earring for that moment. And just bear in mind, it can be used in and out of combat, but in combat it's a bonus action.
And Nari touches her earring and says,
Oh my god!
What the fuck was that?
Help me!
Hit
Help me!
Hit looks around. Is Inari in danger?
Roland's
Nari's
like,
Anari's
Six-
actually standing by the
15.
door,
15?
looking around, seeing what his reaction is.
you know she's pissing about. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she wasn't being serious.
That's fine. Hit was just checking.
So we will, with that identified taken care of, you now have some cool earrings to distribute throughout the group if where necessary. You do have I say you do 8 of these things, you can potentially have up to 8 people with them. And we will call tonight's session right there. And we're pretty much bang on 10:30. So that is the end of episode 37. Thank you once again to my players. Another great evening. I wasn't entirely sure exactly how you guys were going to approach the Naemaris situation. I think you actually did pretty well. No combat XP this evening, but we're going to go with, let's say, someone roll a dice for me. Someone roll a d20. Anybody? First one to give me a d20 number.
1.
So you get 1 XP. No.
Fuck you, Naemaris.
That
So with a nat 1, you get 1 XP. No, even with a 1, you get. We'll make it. We'll make it 1,000 XP for the roleplay. So that will be for Naemaris as well, as well as Inari. So yeah. Well done on the roleplay and the mild interrogation of Naemaris, guys. I was half expecting someone just to say, nah, fuck this bitch, we're going to kill her anyway. That had crossed my mind. But at the same time...
Hey, I was contemplating it, okay?
Yes. 1,000.
Sweet, it just cut out. That would have been, if you'd have rolled a 20, would have been 20,000 then?
No, probably 2,000.
Just.
Maybe, but depending. I mean, if it had been a natural 20, I might have considered giving you guys a level, but
Nutty.
but Nutty fucked up and rolled a critical fail, so you only get 1,000.
He only says that because, you know,
Naemaris is
he's
getting killed.
And who would call out a natural 1 on XP count, eh? Who calls
I know,
that out?
right? Why wouldn't you just roll it again and roll a different number? I mean, come on. At least she's being honest. Don't let her roll again.
14.
Yeah, honest, Drax. I think the Curse of Strahd players probably would have just killed her, knowing how they run the game.
Good thing I've got a nice group.
But we will be back again next Sunday, guys, with episode 38. Keep an eye out tomorrow afternoon. I'll attempt to upload the VOD to YouTube tomorrow afternoon of episode 36. As I said, Thursday morning will be the Curse of Strahd campaign. So make sure, if you can make that one, come and check it out. If you can't make it, check it out on the YouTube. !YT in the chat will give you the YouTube details, or just search Evldoa on YouTube. You'll find it pretty easy. I don't think there's anything else to be said. Baal Show on Friday. We're a week away from that, so we'll keep an eye on the Discord and Twitter for announcements for that. !Social in the chat will give you my Twitter and Instagram details. !Discord will give you the Discord details. Definitely join the Discord. Come and hang out with us in there. There's a few of us that hang out in the Discord regularly. We do play World of Warcraft quite a fair bit, so if you have got Warcraft Classic, you want to come and join us on the Remulus server, on the Oceanic servers, come and hang out with us. We do play regularly, and it's pretty relaxing just to hang out and chat while you're having a bit of a game. Yeah, so we're getting close. You guys must be about a third the way to level 10? Third, maybe halfway?
11,000 XP.
Yep.
Okay, so you're getting pretty close to level 10 now. Yeah, I jumped on retail yesterday for a bit. I just do a couple. I got 4 levels doing 3 dungeons. It's just so easy. Crazy. Mind you, it was all rested XP on my hunter. But yeah, so come and hang out with us next week and see what happens with Naemaris. She'll be heading back to Valond to be studied somewhat and to face some form of trial. The outcome of that will be determined at some point, maybe next session, maybe the one after, depending. And the team is getting ready to head to the Tomb of Horrors. that will be very, very cool. You guys, players and viewers, should enjoy that. So raiding. Who are we going to raid tonight, guys? Is anyone gonna redeem a raid channel points? That's the question there. Wow, my quality looks terrible. Or is that just me? Oh, that's just me.
It's just you.
I had to. It was on order. It was shocking. Do we raid our usuals? That's the question there, guys. Do we go and raid?
Yeah, just raid.
Wouldn't be a D&D night if we didn't raid them.
Are they on though? That's the thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
they're on.
they're on.
Oh, yep, they're there.
Detect the faintest hints.
They've got a bit of a party split going on at the moment as well. So at the moment, it's tonight. It looks like it's just Zrix and Adok. So that will be a bit of fun. So we are going to raid the Lost Chapters. Make sure I spell it correctly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be it for us tonight. We will see you Wednesday night for Americans, Thursday morning for Kiwis, for the Curse of Strahd campaign. I'm at the dentist tomorrow, well, IPS tomorrow, get my second impressions done for my dentures. There will possibly be a week with no streams on or after the 8th of next month. I'll be going in on the 8th to have all my teeth removed. So potentially that week I'm just not going to stream. We will keep you posted about that. But thank you very much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time.